request for the rest of the day. So she won't be making any specific statements to the media today regarding the substance of the case. We will address that later this week. Kim is someone who's loyal to God, and she is loyal to her job and to her people, and she plans to be back at work this week. But I can guarantee you, knowing Kim, she loves God, she loves people, she loves her work, and she will not betray any of those three. She'll do her job good, she'll serve the people as they want her to serve, and she was elected, and she'll also be loyal to God, and she's not going to violate her conscience. So she's released today, and we're certainly rejoicing in her release, but the court order did not resolve the underlying issue, and that issue is Kim Davis has asked for a very simple accommodation. Remove her name and her authority from the marriage certificates, and that's what we've asked from the very beginning. Kim still is asking for that today, and we will continue to ask for that in the future. We believe that the court could act on that, we believe the governor could act on that, and we believe the Kentucky Assembly can act on that as well. But either way, independently or in a combination with each other, we're still asking for Kim Davis and others like her to have her conscience and her religious convictions accommodated. Kim's life was drastically changed 4.5 years ago when her mother-in-law had a dying wish for her to go attend church, and she did, and she gave her life to Jesus, and her life has been drastically changed since then. And she is a different woman than she was 4.5 years ago, and that's what really is behind Kim. If you get to know this lady, and I'm sure you will in the next days ahead, because I know a lot of you have wanted to talk to her, and we will make available what we can, respecting her time and her privacy. But if you get a chance to know Kim, she is the most amazing individual who is at peace, even in this jail cell, and she is someone who encourages you when you try to come and encourage her. So,
will Ms. Davis authorize deputies to issue same-sex licenses?
Kim Davis will not violate her conscience.
How did they over the last few days? But will her deputies be able to issue same-sex licenses? That's part of the provision of the judge's order right now.
Will she stop her deputy clerk? Kim Davis cannot and will not violate her conscience.
Kim, what was it like in jail these last few days? Can you tell us what it was like for you in jail these last few days? What did you do?
All has been well.
Was it work weekend? Kim, can you step up close to the mic just to talk about the experience of the last few days?
She's going to do that at the appropriate time. Kim has gone through an incredible amount, and today itself has been an emotional day. She had no idea this was coming, and she's just now had a few moments to spend with Joe.
Can you at least give a comment to the supporters, the people who've been out here?
She'll do that at the rally.
She will speak and give thank you to those people who are here that came at the rally. But she's not going to speak about the substance of the case. She's going to thank the people that are here.
Not violating her conscience doesn't answer the question.
You'll find out in the near future.
Will you be back
tomorrow morning, really?
Well, Mr. Shaver, how can you
you'll find we've had the same request. Accommodate her religious convictions. There's a simple way to do that.
Does this keep her out of jail for good?
And that's what Kim will do. She'll do her job, and she won't violate her conscience. Governor?
I want to say thanks to Matt Staver, his representation of Kim, but most of all, thanks to this incredibly brave lady who decided that the courage of her convictions was more important than simply even her own freedom. And she was willing to go to jail for what she believed. She has ignited something across this country where people are tired of the tyranny of judicial action that takes people's freedoms away, takes their basic fundamental constitutional rights and puts them in jeopardy, and a tyranny of a legislative court that believes that it can make up law and somehow find a way to enforce it. I told Kim today that I feel like she's shown more courage than most any politician I know and most every pastor I know, because she's not only said something, she's been willing to put her life at risk in order to follow the Christ that came into her life 4 years ago. And that's a bold declaration, of the authenticity of her faith and the reality of it. The fact that so many people have come from all over the country to be here at this rally today for her. They came because they wanted her to be free. What we could not have known when this was planned a week ago was that on the day that everyone comes, they get to watch her walk out of this jail. But we stand with Kim today with gratitude and appreciation, and for her husband Joe, who I appreciate for standing with his wife and in no way doing anything other than being proud that she was willing to pay the price to even go to jail to maintain the clarity of her conscience. And Kim, we are all grateful for you and thank God for you. Delighted to be with you today and standing with you today.
Mr. Huckabee.
The judge has told her that she cannot interfere with the process of handing out these licenses. What do you advise her to do when she returns to work tomorrow?
That's a legal question for her, but I've already told her that if somebody needs to go to jail, I'm willing to go in her place. And I mean that because I'm tired of watching people being just harassed because they believe something of their faith. And we cannot criminalize the Christian faith or anybody's faith in this country. And I'm praying that there will be remedies that do not involve putting someone in jail for their convictions, especially when the issue is whether the courts can just make a law out of thin air and then somehow try to apply it and punish people for not obeying something that isn't even a law.
Mr. Staver, on Friday, some licenses were issued. We're told by some of the people that received them that Mrs. Staver's name was not actually on the license. Is that the case or not? And if so, what does she plan to do tomorrow?
The licenses that were issued without the authority of the clerk of Broward County, and they are not valid. There are criminal laws in Kentucky that say that if you issue a license to someone that is not authorized by statute, that there are criminal penalties for that. Kim Davis, because of the 5-4 opinion that happened on June 26, chose to not issue any licenses because it's a serious criminal penalty to wrongfully issue a license. You cannot just voluntarily change the certificate. You cannot issue a license to those that are not authorized under Kentucky law. And the General Assembly has not met to clarify the licenses in Kentucky. So Kim Davis cannot, number one, violate her conscience, but she's going to also follow the Kentucky law, which is a very serious violation for wrongfully issuing a license.
Folks, we've got a lot of people waiting in the hot sun. We're going to get her out, meet with Joe.
Kim, was it worth it for you? Was it worth it? Yes or no?
Thank you, guys.
Let me say that Kim will come out at the very end. I know there's a lot of people here that came from Washington State, from parts of Mexico and Texas and around the country, around the Texas-Mexican border, just to say thank you for Kim. She will speak briefly to thank those people who came to support her. As far as further substantive discussion on the merits of the case with media, we will make whatever arrangements that we need to as time goes on this week and next week for Kim to address what she needs to. We'll be having to meet with her as her attorneys to consider the next step. We still have appeals in the process, and Kim plans to return back to work. She's not going to abandon her job or her people, so she'll continue her job. But I can tell you she's been in this jail for 6 days. She's not getting out because she violated her conscience. Her conscience remains clear today as it was when she first walked into these jail cells, and it will remain clear in the future. Thank you very much.
Go back.
Thank you.
Is she back to work tomorrow or when?
She says Kentucky law. They're just talking about these illegal licenses.
Guys, the rally will start in just a few minutes, and me and her will be up there. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, guys.
Boy, I'll tell you,